You're listening to Dads, Diapers, and Drinks. 3 dads trying to lead their families well in a crazy world. So grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to Dads, Diapers, and Drinks. I'm your host Scott, here with Nathan and Jeff.
Yeah.
As per usual. Hey. You gave me crap about that last week.
You did it again. Thank you, Scott.
You said hi to yourself.
Hey
You
yourself.
did.
I did not. I'm saying hey to you.
I appreciate it. I feel welcome.
Yes, you're both welcome on my podcast. Just kidding. It's not my podcast.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
I guess you can do it by yourself next week, Scott.
Nope.
Oh, my word.
I would not do it if you guys weren't also here with me. So, whoa. My microphone is sliding down. So, yeah, this is our last episode of season 1.
Yeah, I can't believe we're here.
Woo.
Honestly, it's astonishing how fast a year can go, and also how much time that actually is. It's a very long time.
It's kind of one of the fun things about doing this, for the past year, is I can actually go and kind of track what happened in my life this whole past year.
Yeah, it's like
in
a
way
time
that-
capsule.
Yeah. And in a truly unique way that I've never had anything else like it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting and in and of itself rewarding, is just to have done this for a year straight and have talked with you guys every week for a year. You know,
Yeah.
this whole past year, man. I know what's been going on in you guys' lives the whole time. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. It would be cool to go back and listen to all of the updates about our personal lives we've given, about just our kids. And like Davis was only 4 months old when we started this. 3 months old? 4 months old?
Now he's a
How much different is this
full-blown
now?
Now he's 16 months old, and the difference is obviously incredible. So
Yeah, seriously.
yeah, just my parenting life has changed radically in the year that we've been doing this. So it's just kind of cool to think about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Andy wasn't even born.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Ellen was just pregnant with Andy. Now he's 10 months old.
That's
Very
wild.
different. He's changed a lot.
Yeah, he's
Come into
moved.
existence.
He's moved quite far in life since then. It's driving me utterly nuts because thanks to Brandon and other circumstances, but mostly Brandon, there's no baby formula in friggin' Northeast Ohio right now.
Oh, my word, yeah.
So we are a little earlier than planned switching Andy off of formula, and he is not happy about it.
Shoot.
We're completely out of formula, so we're giving him a bottle with warm whole milk in it, and he was just not having it earlier, and he's
Man.
This doesn't taste
pissed. And I
half
was
as
like,
good.
buddy, you're gonna have to get used to it. So
Yeah. I don't know where to place blame. Like gas is ridiculously expensive, and
that's almost directly his fault, but
somehow there's
not his. It's politically. But
somehow there's a baby formula shortage. Like, I don't know how that happens.
Well,
the thing that I saw that was hilarious is he tried to claim credit. He's like, we've flown in military planes full of pallets of baby formula, and it's like, this is a huge victory. And everyone's like,
Are you
so what? We're a
airdropping
third world country now, where we airdrop with the military food to the cities. It's like, that's not. We do that to other countries.
we all fight over the care packages. My baby
That's not
needs
what we
this.
do here.
I see the blue smoke. Go. Oh,
Yeah,
my word.
it's like, this is a victory. We're airdropping food supplies to our major cities. It's like, oh, this is a good. We nailed it, everyone.
What I
So fun.
continue thinking about is we're still doing relatively okay for us who are financially well off. I can't imagine being someone who is in dire straits before this, and now you're making the same amount of money and everything is almost doubled. It's like,
I know.
how can you even get to your job?
And how can the company you work for afford to give you a raise to compensate for
Exactly.
the increased living costs?
Yeah,
They can't
people
really.
who are truckers or who like the landscapers, and there are a ton of landscapers in our area, and landscaping companies that have these big trucks that do 100 gallons a day of driving.
Oh, easy.
Their cost is huge now.
Yeah.
That's like unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, so this last year, I mean, a lot's changed in our personal lives. A lot has changed globally and just in everyone's life. So I don't know. Can we blame Russia and Ukraine for some of this stuff? Don't know.
Yes,
maybe, probably,
maybe. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But overall, life is still good, and I think we'll be okay.
You know what I'm going to look back probably really fondly on is all of our weather updates that we give every week. It's a little self roast for us there.
On this topic, because I've recognized this in listening back to our show that we talk about this too much. I'm amazed that I am so much more aware now of weather patterns than when I was young.
Oh my word.
Like I actively know what the temperature and what the climate's going to be like per month of the year now. I swear when I was a kid, when I was like in high school, never crossed my mind once. So it's just one of those, I think it's just an older person thing. You just start caring about it for some friggin' reason.
Yeah, it's true.
For some reason, it came up in the podcast all the time. It's like, look at that. That's bizarre. I'd never noticed I talk about this a lot, but apparently I do.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know. It's talking about the weather is a cliche, obviously, but it's one of the very few common grounds you have with complete strangers.
It is very true.
So I don't know. I don't see that big of a deal.
No, there's not a big deal in it.
It's just funny when you look at it over the course of a year. We're like, we talked about this all the time.
It's a big weather means a lot to us, apparently.
It does. I will say you really start to hate the heat when you've been living with AC and it decides to stop being your friend and not working. Speaking of the weather,
let's do it.
My house was like 82 degrees on Sunday. Not Sunday, Saturday, and I just wanted to die.
Yeah, it was hot here.
You could not get it any cooler in the house. We had like every fan going. We had like windows open in like strategic ways to get maximum airflow, and it was like not helping. I was like, this is hell. This is why I have AC. I remember now.
Yep. We began our main floor renovations on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
In the heat as well. Our house has no air conditioning. So we were all in the house, maybe six to eight people, all busting walls down with zero airflow. And it was hot and dusty.
Steamy.
And So
you got the good sweat effect going on. You probably lost a few pounds just
I hope
from
so.
that.
I got some room to go here. But we're doing a massive project, and I need all the time I can possibly put into that project. So it's going to be huge.
This is like a transformation of your first floor.
Yeah, we're redoing the kitchen. We're doing a new bathroom. We are taking a couple pantries out. We're
changing the dining room.
Yeah, changing the dining room, taking walls out. It's a really big project. So it's going to take, we're anticipating 6 to 8 months if we can really dedicate like a lot of time to it. Luckily, my father-in-law is an absolute beast.
Seriously.
And he told me yesterday after we just finished golfing, he's like, yeah, I think I'm going to come over every day this week, every night this week, just to keep doing the demo and keep filling up the dumpster, because we only have the dumpster for 10 days, and day one was last Friday. So at least we have it for 2 Saturdays, so we can, dedicate 2 full days to doing demo. But the entire house, this house is 100 years old, and every wall is plaster with the wooden slats behind it, and it's
just a perfect firebox.
It just sucks. It's demo when you've got drywall is easy because the drywall can just break off in big chunks, but with the plaster it just crumbles and this dust cloud everywhere.
Nothing comes off in a big chunk. It's like you push it and it just turns into a million pieces.
Yes.
Every single time.
Yes. Yes. So I might sound a little nasally right now. It's because I was doing demo right before we came down to do this podcast, and I sneezed about 1,000 times. So,
oof.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get any farther, we have to We got to say what we're having this evening.
Yes, it was almost what we had this evening.
Very close for Scott, but
Yeah.
that's normal. So.
I'm not far behind you.
Following suit for the week. But we're having the Knob Creek Smoky Maple again.
Yes.
It's delightful.
Delicious.
Big fan.
I have got myself an old fashioned here, which my wife made for me.
Nice.
Because I was sitting here and I was like, oh, I don't have a drink in my hand. She goes, ooh, I'll make old fashions.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if you would like one, then you should go make them.
Dude,
So
I haven't tried that old fashioned mix from Bullet before, but I had a couple of those at your house this weekend. Oh my word,
Dude,
I gotta get myself a little bottle of that.
they're
'cause it's
so
awesome.
good.
It's so good, and it's so easy. You're just like,
Was it
done.
Was it a pre-mixed cocktail?
Yeah, it's a premix.
Yeah.
Like
You just go to, they sell them at Heinen's near me for some freaking reason. So you just buy it and it says, it's a 4-to-1 ratio with this and bourbon. or
okay, you
3 to
still
1.
have to mix it with the bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you pour that in there. It's just a syrup, and you pour your bourbon in and put a cherry in there, and you're good.
Yeah.
And they're great. And
Yeah.
one of my friends gave me some crap. He's like, dude, why don't you just like buy the ingredients and make it yourself? And I was like, because these are really easy.
I've
And they
tried making
taste
them myself.
Really good.
Yeah.
I could try. I don't know. I could put in the effort to get good at it, but I don't want to. So
There's places where the effort's worth it, and there's
Yes.
places where it's not. And this to me,
yeah,
See, it's also like that ratio of like ease of access to like, is the end product that much better if you've put in the work? And it's like with really good bourbon and like really good ingredients, okay. And like on a special occasion, sure. But like if you can just boop, boop, done, and it took you like 30 seconds to make that drink, absolutely go for it.
yep. Anyway,
and the video's on now.
Nice.
I forgot to start the video recording.
That's all good.
Doesn't matter. Hi everybody. Here are my knees.
Behold,
I have
Other
my
things
knees.
you've learned over the past year.
I have
Scott is
nubbing
self-conscious
knees.
about his knees.
I'm not.
dude, there's been actually a whole lot of crazy things. Like I lost 20 pounds this year from when we started to where I am now.
Nate,
you
I was going
really?
to say when
Yeah.
I saw you over the weekend that you looked quite good. I didn't say it to you because I didn't want to be nice to you, but
okay,
you did
I
look
mean,
quite good.
Not in front of the.
I would have
other
been
people.
uncomfortable if you'd said that to me.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be nice to me, Jeff. What is this?
I know.
Um,
It breaks my character I've made for myself.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I still have I'm not quite at my goal yet. I'm 2/3 of the way there, trying to lose 10 more, and then I'll be, pretty happy with that. It's like it's kind of a mental thing, honestly, more than anything else. Like,
Yeah.
can I persevere through my diet and my exercise to actually get there and to actually see progress, as opposed to just I'm doing things and nothing happens. It's inspiring.
Yeah, well, that's good, dude. That's impressive. I hope to be able to say the same thing about myself 1 year from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I just turned 29.
Oh, you've got to do it before
so-
30, Scott. You got
Yeah,
this.
if I could just kind of go into my 30s on the good,
Mhm.
trajectory, that would be nice.
As much as I try to not let things that I think are made up affect me, for some reason, turning 27, which if we didn't say it, Scott and I, our birthdays are 2 days apart. So he's the 19th and I'm the 21st. So we both had our birthdays this past week.
Mm-hmm.
And turning 27 for me was, for some reason, I had this like, you know what? I keep saying it. I keep saying, oh, I'm going to get into shape at some point. And I just like, don't. It's like, I really am on a bad path to hit 30. I'm going to hit 30 like 210 pounds if I don't start changing something. And it's like, it's not going to get easier. It's only getting harder to find time to do anything.
Yep.
I need to freaking change this stuff. I need to freaking do it. I don't want to be, I just don't want to be like this. So we've said it before, but I need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And like even today, I just had like a stressful random day. So here's my drama of the day. We ordered a new dryer because my old one was just like not working. It kept overheating. We would clean the lint out of it every freaking day, and it would still get completely bogged down and shut itself off while trying to do laundry, which is just maddening. So we're like, screw it, let's buy a new one, let's get gas. So we bought a new gas one, got it all set up. And it gets delivered, and I talked to the delivery guys, and they're like, so where do you want us to leave this? And I was like, I'm sorry, I paid for delivery and installation, so I'd like you to leave it in my laundry room, all hooked up. And they're like, we just deliver. It's like, so is there
Cool.
someone else behind you who installs? And they go, nope.
Wow.
Ring ring, Best Buy. What did I just buy from you, you jerks? So I ended up having to install the thing on my own, which meant for me, whenever I say did it on my own, it still means I call my dad and say, what do I do? So I ended up with, Ellen was still at church. She had some meetings. So I was at home with 2 kids and I was like, Dad, I don't know what I need to buy. So he ran to Ace and bought all the parts we needed. And then he came over and we got it all hooked up over lunch. So
Nice.
ended up being an adventurous lunch for me. But I now have a new dryer and a lot less hair. So
Nice. And you successfully dried clothing?
yes, and I ran the first batch this afternoon, and it has not blown my house up, and my clothes are dry.
So
So-
double win right there.
Just wins all over the
Man.
place. But my point being is like I literally was so stressed out at the end of the day. I was like, oh my gosh, I just wish I could have gone for a run today because I actually feel like that'd have been great to get out of the house, do something physical, and then feel like refreshed afterwards. Because I was just like, my lunch break was just a stressful kids crying, trying to feed and work on laundry room. I was just losing my mind. I was like, I need to get out of my house and go running. I feel like that'd be so good for me. And I didn't do it. So I was really feeling it today. Sorry, bit of a rant there.
No,
That's all right.
I will say when you already like it's already a challenge enough as it is to exercise, you know, just to get yourself mentally in a place where you're like, okay, I actually want to exercise, and you're like, yeah, I want to go for a run today, and then life gets in the way. It is. I don't think I get more frustrated at many things than that. Like I had to mow the lawn today, and it was a beautiful day. I was like, man, I could go for a run when I get home, and then I realized, wait, I have to mow the lawn.
Yep, there it goes.
Well, I guess I'm not running today. I mean, I definitely got a good workout. I am genuinely tired because my mower is not functioning at optimum capacity. So, still.
Yeah, the problem with me is I take that further. I'm like, there's no point in me working out today when I have time because I know I don't have time tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day. So, what's the point of doing it today?
Doesn't count for anything then.
I'm just going to regain all the weight that I would have burned.
Yeah,
So,
I feel you.
Yeah, it's
Brilliant.
not scheduled in to my routine, to my life at all. I fit it in when I can, and then most of the time when I can, I don't fit it in. I don't know. I gotta change something. Like today, I could have gone for a run. I could have used a run, but smashing walls was a pretty good.
I think that's a valid excuse.
Yeah,
Pretty good substitute.
it's a pretty good substitute. This was a stressful work day today, man.
I feel
It
you.
was bad. I didn't get home till almost 6, and it's just really bad. I can talk to you guys after this this episode, but
Sure.
anyway, we're doing a year in review here.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's talk about, I don't know, let's reflect on some of our episodes. Some of I'll just list off the top episodes from the past year. The most listened to episode is episode number 1. Introduction.
Shocking.
And it seems like not many people made it past episode number 1.
That's probably what has the most because
No.
people listened to it and was like, wow, these guys?
F that.
Really?
No,
My
I
poor
think
ears.
most likely it's people who came along later would go listen to the introduction and then they pick a
And
headline.
then they
that-
jump ahead.
that-
Yeah.
They'd pick an episode that looked interesting, then listen to it. Because that's what whenever I find a podcast that already exists, like I just started listening to one called "The Rest Is History," which is a great historical podcast, which I think I've told you guys about a couple times.
Yes.
And so I listened to one episode that I thought was good, and then I just scroll through all 200 other episodes and go, what else is an interesting thing that looks cool?
Right, I
So I
do
don't
that
listen.
too.
I've only listened to like 14 episodes, but I listened to episode 1 and then like a bunch of other random ones. So
Yeah. It makes sense.
I'm assuming that's why those numbers are like that.
Right. Our second, well, this, what I'm about to say adds some evidence to that. The second is a tie for second place here. For our second most listened to episodes. Episode 16, Rantings About Modern Music.
That was one of my favorites.
Episode 21, Alcohol.
Dude, the number of music episodes we could do is just
immense. I was ranting about this at my house this weekend when everyone was over.
Yeah.
Where I don't know if you guys were there for that. One of my friends said that she was starting to listen to country, and I was like, I disown you, because
Yeah, I was there for that.
I was like, this is everything I hate about music.
Were you still throwing darts? You were
No,
throwing darts by yourself.
there.
For like,
I was there.
okay.
Yeah, but it's like everything that I hate about music and how we've degraded the average person's understanding of what music is, because we just pump the dumbest, lowest form of music is the most popular stuff. We've just given over our culture to the basest level of music, and that's just detrimental. It'd be like if our movies were all garbage like they are today. It's just bad. Like, it's not just I wish movies were better, I wish music was better. It's like, no, it's actually important that we produce good art. Like, that really does matter for people's lives and their maturing and their understanding of the world, that you produce good art, and dumbing it down is just not the thing to do. It's just bad. So country music is the lowest of the low for that for me. I think rap is even better than country music.
Yeah. I don't know. It's similar to what we were talking about schooling with Dan Adams. How with homeschooling, you can cater your curriculum to exactly what your son or daughter excels in, and you can kind of focus on those things and, make them at least GED quality of all the other subjects, but have them really push them in where they're excelling. Whereas in a public school setting or private school, you may be stuck with a bunch of kids who aren't as smart as you at a certain subject. You can only go as fast as the slowest kid in the class.
Yeah.
So I feel like for art, it's kind of similar. Where if you're trying to create music that has the widest appeal, you can't really put too many, like, I don't know, avant-garde or like fancy things, fancy elements in your art, in your music. Otherwise, it's going to turn some people away.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, as a money-making strategy, that's not really a good one.
Right. If you're trying to make a living doing music, you got to be the cookie cutter.
Yeah. Or
do,
already have
do
a
what
giant
sells.
following.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you already have that giant following, then you can experiment, and you'll have these loyal fan base that will always say they loved your new stuff, even if it sucks. But
that's when you have
Pilots?
yes. 21 Pilots, or you even
Imagine
have
Dragons.
people that started on YouTube, like Lindsay Sterling. Like, she was just like, hey, I like dancing and playing violin, and like her early stuff was like, okay, that's kind of interesting, and then she just like totally leaned into what her strengths were, and you're like, you make great things. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah. I haven't really listened to her since the Radioactive with Pentatonics.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've heard her in.
I rarely see her stuff pop on YouTube for me, but when I do, I'm like, oh, it's usually more in like the niche of things that I already appreciate.
During Christmas time, when Kelsey puts on like a Pandora Christmas playlist, sometimes Lindsay Sterling comes on there. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. And that's the stuff that, like, I made the joke, but Incredibles has the line that Mozart makes, that the babysitter says, where Mozart makes babies smarter, and how she wishes that her parents had played Mozart, because most of the time she has no idea what anyone's talking about. And it's funny that, to me, that was played off as a joke in the early 2000s. It's like, yes, because even at that point, the people who knew this were like, it's kind of funny that we know this, but haha, we don't do it. Whoops. Well, it's like, it's not I mean, I'm trying to be intentional about it. Like, I literally try to play more complicated music around my kids, because especially like the kids shows that we let Kelly watch have the dumbest music in it.
Yeah.
And she sings, she loves them. She just loves her freaking songs. And she runs around singing her songs. I'm like, God, these are the dumbest things in the world.
Yep.
Like, it hurts. You need to be exposed to more complicated music, or you're just going to think that's what music is, and you'll never know better. And it's just sad.
And I mean, we can continue to rant on this, but there was
sorry, we mentioned the topic of ranting
I know,
about modern music,
it.
and now we're here.
We can't help ourselves.
I
have one last little point before we move on, though. But for like, not like for Katie's birthday, but like during her birthday weekend, we while we were celebrating, we went to the Cleveland Museum of Art, which was pretty cool. And different areas were more interesting than others, but then they had like the like more modern, like abstract art stuff. And some of it's like a painting with like 2 or 3 colored stripes on it. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
But then that's next to this lattice of literally glass rods that have been heated and bent into like a full web, but is also making a 3-dimensional inward out like structure. And I was like, okay, there has to be a component of challenge and like difficulty with art. Like you can't just like, I can't blast a bunch, like take a cannon, a potato cannon full of paint, shoot at a canvas and be like, art. Like, no, you did nothing. You literally did nothing. I mean, you can call it art, but like, is it really? Like, there's any expression
art piece
in
that was a banana taped to a wall.
I know. I mean, that was a gag, but
people didn't know.
But there's like legitimately the reason why it worked is because there's legitimately stuff like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but there are people that will like do something that is technically like simple to look at, like someone who like draws a ultra realistic like Coke bottle. Okay, it's a Coke bottle, but the thing is that you made me believe that was a 3-dimensional object, and it isn't. And there's an element of like genuine challenge and difficulty to that. And I think music can very much like the way we feel. It's like if you're just making the lowest form, it's like, oh, you strung your good 4 chords together and you made a catchy hook. Money. It's like that's not the art of what it is. And I think for people who genuinely love music, it can be painful for us, which is why we rant.
Yeah, well, last thing about art.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the artist Thomas Kincaid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I know him?
Well, he's not well regarded amongst other artists because he had mainstream success. Because he sold art that was consumable to the masses. It's stuff that regular Joe Schmoes like us could understand. Like, oh, that's a pretty landscape.
Yeah.
People made fun of Mozart
that.
because people would walk out of his shows singing his tunes, and the snobs would go, his melodies are so simple, the plebs can sing them. It's like, yes, and they're singing them all day, every day, and I'm the most famous musician in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So
right. Yeah. So Thomas Kincaid is the country music of painting.
Please quote that.
Though he died a few years ago, I think. He was only in his 50s or something. But anyway, moving on.
That was a good episode. That's a good topic.
It was.
Yes.
Well, we're definitely going to circle back.
Yes. Our third most listened to episode. Episode 7, Kids in Sports.
Also
really?
A great topic.
Yes. The full title was Kids in Sports/Activities, and then I think I put our participation trophies. Let me scroll down. What do I call this thing? I can't even see the full title.
I believe in you. You got this.
Don't hurt yourself.
Our participation trophies F and this ... and I can't see the rest of it.
If Scott's ever having a stroke, we already know what it's going to sound like. So just, we're good, everybody.
That was
okay?
painful.
Our participation trophies evil.
Worth it.
The commitment, I think I can feel the commitment from here, and I'm pretty close, but
it was the Mermaid Man from SpongeBob.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
So good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
that's another one similar music that's very core to us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Like the ones I think there's a relationship to our passion level and the amount of engagement that like you guys are giving back to us. Like if we're passionate about something and we're like genuinely feeling it, I think it comes through a lot better.
Yeah. Honestly, I think our freedom of speech one last week was really good. Personally,
that one was really good.
Too, yeah.
I really liked our education one as well.
Yeah, it's a shame the ones with our guests weren't higher up here.
I mean, they're also newer, so the opportunity for people to listen to them has been less.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but I refreshed, and now the third most listened to episode is the one with our wives.
Oh.
Huh.
And then it's the Kids in Sports.
Okay.
For fourth. I don't know why that happened.
Someone
went and ruined our stats.
Now.
We aren't even live streaming this, and someone just did it.
Yeah.
No, but I'm excited that we are creating something that seems worthy of people's time, and that apparently people are telling us that it's worthy of their time by showing us.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited to see where this goes. I think we can, like, I think this year, especially as like our first year, has been really good. I think it's genuinely
set
proud
a good
of what we did.
baseline. I think we've established our floor pretty nicely, which is an important first step. Is like we now know what it's like to operate and what effort it takes to produce something of higher quality and what areas we are better at dealing with than others, which is all stuff that like sadly you just have to learn. There's no shortcut. You just got to do it.
Like golf.
Yeah, there's no way around it. You just got to go out there and start swinging and start going for it. And then you go, all right, cool. We're actually pretty good at that. We're not very good at that. Got it. And then you got to build from there. So I think we established our floor pretty good. And then hopefully we can make some good, intelligent reflections and intelligent paths forward and produce a better and better show.
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I think as simple or as consistent as our current format has been, I think genuinely that, I'm speaking to the audience here, that you guys will be able to, I don't know, kind of receive the content a little bit better. I think we're gonna put more effort into it. I'm planning on putting more effort into it. I'm not gonna speak for you guys. I think our topics are going to be more streamlined, a little more focused, and I am planning on putting a lot more conciseness into my thoughts.
Yeah. We don't know what season 2 looks like yet. It may not be weekly releases. It may be shorter episodes. It may be, I don't know. We have to talk about it still. So we want to make sure that, I think the issue I've found in myself with doing a weekly episode was it was fine while we had a buffer.
Yeah.
But then we ran out. We've been going like 5 months straight with no buffer.
Which is honestly, I'm impressed with us.
We've done it.
But it's stressful.
It is.
Our recording night comes around. I'm like, I haven't put any prep into this. And sometimes that becomes sometimes we can get by, but other times I think that becomes pretty apparent. And even I can tell in my own tone, in my own energy in the recording, like it's obvious I don't know what I'm talking about. It's obvious.
Get a load of this guy.
Is a skill that you did not learn because you were a straight shooting firstborn, but you need to learn how to be very confident when you have no clue what you're talking about. This is a second-born technique.
I will say, Jeff, you get the MVP award on this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So having more guests on would also help with that, where I can just ask dumb questions. We can kind of take on the format of that podcast Jeff mentioned called No Dumb Questions.
Yep.
And we'll just have endless guests, and I'll just sit here on my couch with my feet up and be like, ask a bunch of dumb questions.
Spend your time
If you haven't listened to No Dumb Questions, it is such a great format. It's so fun.
I haven't listened to it yet. I've only heard what you told me.
It's literally two guys that have completely different fields, and every week they alternate the topic. And one of them says, "This is the topic. Tell me what you know about it." The other guy goes, "I know nothing about it." "Cool. What's your first question?" And then it's just, here we go. One of us knows what we're talking about. The other person has no clue, and we're going to talk about it together. And you can just ask all the things that come to your head. So it's a really fun format, and it's really easy to get into because you know that they're both smart. They just don't know about this particular thing. So you get to hear someone who's intelligent try to figure out how to learn a thing.
Right.
And it's really cool. So it's also from my Destin, who's just a great guy. So
yeah, he's the Smarter Everyday guy. If you're familiar with that YouTube channel.
Yeah. He's not just a great YouTuber, he's a genuinely really cool guy. So
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where else to steer this one.
No, I don't know how much more you guys want to say, but we will definitely be, bringing some sort of updates. We might release some like a really short 5-minute thing that's not really an episode. It's just like a, hey, this is our plan, guys. Probably because this is going to be the best format to actually get that information to you. We'll probably post on social as well, but yeah.
That would be a situation where posting on social media would be acceptable.
Yes. Fine, we'll do it. But definitely we will, as soon as we know, we want to let you guys know because we value the time that you are willing to give us, and we really genuinely appreciate it. I definitely do.
Yeah, it's good hearing the feedback. It's some of the, I don't know, personally, it's just a personality thing for me. Like I don't continue doing things unless I see some sort of fruit of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's not, I know some people, some big YouTube channels say, like, I was doing this with no views for like 7 years. Like, I would just not do that.
I feel like you wasted your time and then got lucky. That's what happened there.
Well, I literally ran into something today that totally blows that vision of how you should create content and create art out of the water.
Yeah.
It's a guy who makes Elden Ring content. His name is Bushy Games. He's been making YouTube videos for 2 months. His highest viewed video is 1.2 million views.
What? Holy cow. He hit the right niche at the right time.
Top tier. I mean, he literally, the first video game he ever made any content about was Elden Ring. And he was, I don't know, he's like our age. He looks like he's in his mid-20s. And he just was like, I'm going to make Elden Ring content. And his first couple videos were like not good. But then by like 2 months in, he had a video with 70,000 views. And it's just a smart, interesting idea of an Elden Ring topic. And then his most recent one is 1.2 million. It's like, yeah, he's been doing it for 7 months and he had good ideas and he executed them really freaking well. Like they're top quality.
It was timely. Like the game is new, right?
Yeah.
The game is new. He came in at the right time. He had good ideas about how to make new content around it. He did it.
Right.
So you don't have to grind away your entire life for something. If you go about it in an intelligent way, there's a better way to improve your product.
Yeah. And if you guys actually just enjoy listening to us and it's not even specifically like, oh, you guys are talking about, you know, kids in sports, or, oh, we really want to hear your opinion about music or whatever, and you just enjoy listening to us, maybe we could do some other content. Maybe we could do like some when we're like out on the golf course or something like that. I don't know. I think it'd be a little more interesting. We could mix it up.
We can do anything. The fun thing for me is, I think all of us, we all have this, as weird, I don't really think of myself as a particularly creative person. Like I think of creative people and I think of those really artsy people that look funny. And
they work in coffee shops.
And they're always in coffee shops and they talk about how much better their coffee is with this type of creamer in it and whatever.
Creamer.
And I'm not like that.
No,
sorry.
Jeff, you sacrilegious fool.
It's not coconut milk.
Yeah.
It's oat milk. You know, whatever the thing is.
Yes.
And I'm not like that. I'm much more of a sensible, try to do things smart person. But for some reason, I've always had this passion with, and we've been in YouTube world, Scott and I, forever. Our first YouTube videos came out 12 years ago. Like we were kids. We were making fun videos at home with our friends and stuff.
Yeah, we did those
Halo
Pong
montages. We did
Halo
Pong shot videos. So like we've always had this kind of bent towards making something interesting and making something that's good. And like the level of critique we had on like what went into our montages, we're like, was that a montage clip? Nah, that wasn't good enough. Like we discarded all sorts of crap because we always held ourselves to a higher bar as high as we could. So I'm happy that we're doing this because it's an exercise in creativity that we've always kind of wanted to do. I've always kind of had an itch for it, and we're actually doing it. So for me, it's just fun because we're actually making something, and we're gonna try to make it better, and we'll try to keep doing it. But it's cool to actually create something.
Yep. We're actually making something. We actually have an audience, even though it's very small. The anchor is estimating is 27 people. 29 now. Never mind, 29. So,
that's a whole classroom.
That's right.
Yeah. We've got our little classroom full of students.
It's very small, but I'm surprised that many of you guys want to listen to us. Maybe
if it was 5, I wouldn't have been shocked.
Self-deprecating. I'd be like, oh, 10 of you? Sure. The family's listening. That's good. No, it's it's humbling to some degree. I'm genuinely surprised that many people want to hear what we have to say. And yeah.
Yeah. But basically going forward for season 2, I think Nathan, you might have mentioned this on a previous episode, but we don't, the format we've had for season 1 is we pretty much pick a topic and talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, quite literally, we're just running out of topics. So
quite literally, we ran out of topics 4 months ago.
Yeah. So that's going to be one of the format changes is we're not going to just be talking about specifically being dads and like what life is like as a dad, but rather Dads, Diapers, and Drinks is more of just Jeff, Nathan, and myself. We are dads, or will someday be dads, and it's more of a statement about who we are rather than what the content is about.
Exactly.
So
we're
going to open up the content pool a little bit.
Get ready.
Yeah.
The tidal wave's coming.
Even though we've pretty much done that.
Yeah.
But it's now we're just being open about it, I guess. we're owning it.
Trying to go about it more intelligently.
Yeah.
Yes.
So again, don't really know what that looks like yet, but we're thinking about it. Right now, I'm honestly just kind of looking forward to a break. We've been doing this for a year.
Yeah.
And I've got this house renovation project going on, like I said, and it's just going to take a lot of time. And it's, it'll be fun when we reconvene and begin season 2 to update on just what's going on in life and how much our kids have changed. And
by the time we start season 2, I'm going to have all my house projects done. Just going to be amazing. The driveway's supposed to happen end of this week, and then the deck starts after that. So
Dude. Big stuff.
Can't wait.
But yeah.
I'm so ready to be done with all the stuff. And just, I don't know what you're saying too about just like it's been going, it's a lot. Like even my Bible studies don't last annually. We take breaks in Bible studies because as much as like, you would never cease to meet. It's like, yes, except that doing 3 nights a week, if you're like me who leads a Bible study, attends a Bible study and goes to band practice and does a podcast and goes to church every week. It's like, dude, I have a lot. And I have 2 kids. It's like, I'd like to not do some of these things for a little while because it's just a freaking lot of stuff. And it's all good stuff. None of it's bad stuff, but it's just a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And you just get to a point where like, I'd like to not do something for a little bit. I'd like to have a nice evening where I just sit around. So it's going to be good.
As good as the break is going to be, I think it's going to be very strange for me because I genuinely value the time, because as much as it is sometimes where we're like, oh, I don't know, like I don't genuinely know what I'm going to say whatsoever about this topic, I still value the time that I get to sit here with you guys and actually talk about it. Like, even if I'm like completely clueless, the moment we start, it's like, oh man, I'm so happy about it. And it can even be a challenge to like even get here some, like, I mean, even today, I even got here late today because I barely had enough time to mow the lawn and still eat dinner and then still get over here. And at the same time, I don't know. It's very valuable to me. And I appreciate you guys spending this time with me just for myself. Selfless joy.
Well, I was saying that. I don't know if it was, was that before we recorded or when we started recording? But it's just been cool that we've talked. I mean, obviously, we've been friends for forever, and one of you is my brother. So it's obviously we've known each other for a very long time and talked a lot throughout the years. But it hasn't been like every week we always connect and always just give a, hey, how you been? How's life?
Yeah.
What's going on? I used a church term. I said we always connect. Deal with it.
Just want to connect, bro.
Well, even at your party this weekend, we were... We have all these people over at your house.
There's like 15 people in my house.
There's 15 people in your house all hanging out, and the 3 of us are out by the grill talking. It's like, oh yeah, I never talked to you guys. But it's literally, it's because of the conversations that we have, and it's because of the chemistry that we have that it just makes it easy. It's not like an effort. Like I'm like, oh man, I got to talk to these guys. Like, no, we could literally talk for hours almost every day. Genuinely.
Well, as the format of our episodes often go. We go down
Seriously.
rabbit trails. We go on tangents. The conversation never stops. So
Yeah.
that's just kind of how we are.
We're
So
living on the rabbit train.
we decided to stick microphones in front of our faces and record it. That's it.
It's basically the only difference. Let's
Which
be
makes us
honest.
self-conscious about our own conversations we have with each other.
Oh golly.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I'm excited for the future. I'm really proud of what we've done, but I'm even more excited about where this is going because it's already good. And I think it can be great. So yeah.
Make podcasts great again.
Yes.
And on that bombshell, it's time to end.
Yeah. Pay attention to the socials. Pay attention to our next upload because it will be an update about what's going on. So stay tuned.
That's right.
But don't be concerned when not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday, you don't see a fresh new Dad's Diapers and Drinks. We're not dead. We're not gone.
We're very much alive.
We're just preparing for greatness, okay?
Yes.
It's a matter of
Yes.
preparation.
So with that, we will say our goodbye for now.
For now.
We very much appreciate you guys listening. For those of you who've stuck with us through the entirety of season 1,
Mhm.
it's been fun, and look forward to doing season 2. And yeah, just a big old thank you to everyone who's been listening.
For real.
And we will. I can't say we'll talk at you next week, but we'll talk at you next season, whatever that is. So,
Yeah.
thanks for listening, everybody. Goodbye.
Cheers.